by the end of this video, you will exactly know how I quit porn for myself and recovered from ED naturally. So in this video, we are going to talk about specifically PIED, which is porn-induced erectile dysfunction. And before diving into that concept, we must first understand the topic of porn and how it affects our dopamine levels and how it affects our whole internal body and our brain, all that stuff. Okay, so we will understand this concept through this graph. This is the baseline of the dopamine level. So consider we are having a constant steady dopamine level, and now here we consume pornography and we get a huge peak of dopamine. So whenever we get this peak of dopamine, it has to go down certainly at some point. So after getting a peak, it comes down, and guess where it would go? It doesn't go to the baseline, it goes below baseline, and this becomes your new baseline. So for the next time you want to consume this similar pornography stuff, you would have to start from here. And when you watch this same video, you'll get this spike. And this spike both are of the same height. But the thing is, after watching the stuff, our baseline crashed below, and so that's the reason why we can't enjoy the same video next time we watch it. So basically, we need a more intense video to watch to get the next big, huge peak, like above this peak. So basically, that's the reason. And the next time we get a huge peak, it crashes below the previous baseline. So this was our previous baseline, and now the new baseline is this baseline. So that's the concept of dopamine level graphs. Basically, you watch porn and you get a huge peak, and then you drop below baseline, and then you watch again, you get a huge peak, then you come again down below the baseline. Then you watch again, and if you don't feel that much, then you try to get a more intense video, then you'll get that peak. But the thing is, these peaks do not only affect the porn thing, but they affect real life. Basically, we get dopamine through all activities, and even if you go to play, like you play cricket or football, you get this much dopamine peaks. But previously, you had got this peak by watching porn. So that's why playing football or watching sunrise or just anything apart from higher dopamine hits makes your life like less fun. It doesn't feel that great as watching porn. That's the reason we can't get outside it. Did you understand this concept? Like, example, if you don't have food for a whole day and you if you don't give any kind of dopamine, then even a fruit or anything, even a tasteless meal would give you dopamine spike because you have not got any dopamine from the previous activity. That's the reason why we used to enjoy things when we were kids, because we weren't feeding ourselves with a lot of dopamine spikes like this porn, this Instagram, social media, all that stuff gives dopamine. So that's the concept you got to understand. Okay, so how that thing is affecting our brain is we are watching someone else having sex and we are getting stimulus off of it. So we are not into that act, but we are watching someone else do it and we are getting dopamine off of that. And that is what triggering our body and our hormones and our dopamine spikes. So just really understand this concept that viewing porn and having sex in real life are two very different concepts. And that literally rewires our brain into getting stimulus through watching someone else get into that act. And the next time you go into that act, your brain is into the habit of watching other people fall into that act. So that those two are very different things, and people tend to neglect this concept of how porn is affecting their brain. That's the one key pillar. So porn sets up expectations really high. I mean, we are watching some unreal stuff and it is totally edited. All those girls are drugged and it's unreal basically. And that's what we are getting our stimulus off of it, and that is unreal. So when we fall into real stuff, we might get less pleasure off of that. So that's the way how dopamine levels and how porn affects our life. And Here is where ED comes in the game. So that's how ED comes in the way, and that's called PIED. It is a type of ED, and PIED is specifically porn induced erectile dysfunction. So we get into the habit of watching porn and getting hard off watching porn through watching porn. And whenever we are in some real scenarios, we can't get hard enough. And that's a serious problem. I mean, you can't get hard enough in real stuff, so yeah, you're fucked. Every one man out of four is suffering from ED today in today's generation, and it has been risen since 2005. It has been risen up to 28% total, and that's a very serious problem we got to tackle today. And here's the three steps how you can recover from it. So basically, step one is we have to desensitize our brain from all the damage that has been caused to it by watching porn and indulging in this activities. So our brain has been rewired in and conditioned in watching porn and getting hard of watching porn, and we gotta rewire it to make it normal and like enjoying normal stuff like having in real sex and getting erections while being real with some partner. And that is how we do it. First we have to cut off watching porn and indulging in any kind of sexual stimulus activities for basically take a break of 3 weeks minimum and give your total body a mental and psychological reset from the stuff. Basically you have to reset from it, and after you have reset it, this is the most important part guys, don't miss it. It is really important. And after you have reset it, the next step is you have to make some changes in your lifestyle, and here are the changes I'll list down over here. So you have to eat a lot of beetroot every day and have it in all the meals. You can even drink juice. Beetroot is better for blood flow, and in the total body's blood flow it improves it, and the blood flow improves the erections and the getting hard part. Next you can do is you can do some brisk walking. Brisk walking is basically walking fast enough but not running. It is between running and walking. You have to walk in such a way that you are not able to speak with someone but you are able to breathe it. You can search about it, brisk walking, on Google, and then you'll understand the idea of it. But it's basically walking fast so that your heartbeat is fast enough but not running exactly. The next you can do is do some Kegel exercises. Kegel exercises I cannot show you right now, but I'm hosting weekly calls in my school community, which you'll get the access in the link in the description for free. And you can hop on calls with me, and I will demonstrate it, and I will demonstrate those Kegel exercises to you one on one or in a group call. Anyway, so if you want to learn those Kegel exercises, join the school group and I'll show you. Next thing is you have to improve your diet. Cut out all the sugary processed foods, oily foods, and fats, whatever your shit you're consuming. You have to cut it off. And drink 3 to 4 liters of water a day. Do some physical exercise every day. Go to the gym or anything you like. Play sports, whatever you like, enjoy. And just maintain your diet. Eat some eggs, fish, or like if you're vegetarian, eat fruits, citrus fruits, watermelon, and nuts, walnuts, almonds. All those, they generally help in getting good erections. Also flax seeds, they help a lot too. Pomegranates, berries, and also you gotta cut off alcohol and smoking too. I mean, those two are the main causes of ED sometimes. Yeah, they affect it. And what else? Yeah, you have to improve your sleep to reduce your stress and anxiety, because sometimes ED can occur because of stress and anxiety too. It can be psychological ED. Quick little hack for you, like you can drink raw eggs. I know it tastes like shit, but if you want to try it, you can try it. I mean, it works somewhat. If you drink raw eggs before 4 5 days, or like start drinking raw eggs, 2 3 eggs every night, and I tried it myself, and it helps in getting erections much harder. And before you're gonna have your real life intercourse, you can try that. Post days, start drinking raw eggs. That's a tip. Now that you have done the lifestyle changes and followed all the steps, here comes the next part, which is we gotta now rewire our brain into the normal thing. So don't think that if you start seeing some results, you would think like a little bit of watching porn won't hurt much, but it would make your things more worse than before. And so don't do it, don't make that mistake anytime. So what you can do is replace porn with a healthy habit, which is like you can start masturbating like once after 3 weeks. Try it out once and do it through imagination. Don't do any kind of like visual stimulation. It should be completely off of it. Normal. So this worked for me, and clearly it might work for you if you try it and just do all the steps. But here's the main part, like don't miss it out. Recovering is a long game, and because we have been causing this damage to our brain and our body all those years by watching porn and being addicted to it, and we are thinking we should get recovered in days, within a few weeks or few days. Yeah, you will recover fast enough, but if you're being steady enough in those Kegel exercises and all that eating stuff, lifestyle part, and quitting porn, but don't lose your peace. And if you watch porn again, then you're fucked. You won't be able to recover again. But don't beat yourself up if you watch porn. And if you still don't know how to quit porn, I've created a video around it. You can watch it by the end of this video. They'll be listed about it. So don't lose hope. It's a long game and we'll conquer it. I did it in around 4 months, 5 months, and you will most likely able to. So join my free community to gain access to those Kegel exercises and a PDF, and you will get direct access to me. Also, I started a 7-day challenge, one-on-one coaching basically. I'll be doing it for free. If you want to participate, book a call and join the school community and DM me 7, so you'll gain access to it. So thanks for watching. Bye.